Здравствуйте, друзья, с вами Влад, это Fallout New Vegas. Мы продолжаем. У нас тут DLC Old World Blues, Блюз Старого Мира. У нас вырезали позвоночник, мозги, сердце. Короче, не весело. Я посмотрел, на нас еще и больничную рубаху надели. Вообще беспредел. Где наш плащ курьера? Также я посмотрел, нам выдали, все-таки я в конце прошлой серии, ага, тут я оружие доставать не могу. В умном доме могу. Вот, звуковой эмиттер, откровение. И по заданию нам надо настроить его частоту. Сделать какую-то другую частоту, в отличие от той, которая на нем сейчас стоит. Но это мы походим по карте, посмотрим, поищем, отследим. Нам там надавали кучу заданий. Вот так вот выглядит эта вся карта. Трансляционная сеть, исследовательский комплекс. Тут 3 точки нас куда-то зовут по заданию. И исследовательский центр. Задание у нас какое? У всех моих друзей есть выключатели. Недостающие личностные модули. Вот, я хотел их найти и боялся, что их надо будет искать самому, а нам не покажут, где они находятся. Показали, молодцы, хорошо. Ну да ладно. Тут у нас какие-то робомозги усовершенствованные. Давайте-ка с ними со всеми по порядку и пообщаемся. Доктор Дала, она несколько такая сексуально
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and proud as a teddy bear. Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination.
Жалко, нельзя чуть выше поднять экран. Добавлено задание обмен мыслями. Я так понимаю, тут с каждым из вот этих вот робомозгов будет по своему заданию личностному. Поговорите с доктором Клейном, поболтайте. А, это одно задание, в котором надо как раз со всеми пообщаться.
Yes, yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's mouthal cavity.
Да, тяжело ей.
What nonsense. What are you doing?
Завершено. Что-то как-то быстро мы задание делаем.
Stop it. Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography? Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue. Perhaps there is value in what you say. I did so enjoy breathing once, long ago. Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my jaw might run over. If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Slowly. Woo. Woo. Woo, bloop, 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 burble. Ba, bloop.
Истощенный микроядерный заряд батареи.
Last little bit there.
Вот игры делали раньше.
Thank you, lobotomite. Please, you must come back for further study when I've had a rest. I'm a little sensitive right now. Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and advanced curiosity. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science. Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned. An interrogation. How fascinating. Please begin.
Так, что тут еще можно такого интересного у нее спросить? Да, в принципе, давайте по порядку все спросим.
Oh, removing it is a simple procedure. Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip, done. The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. Lobotomites. With you, however, something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized. I am relieved the pacification field is working. If it didn't, I would broadcast some concern to my colleagues about safety protocols. That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart. If you were to somehow find your brain, wherever it sloped off to, you could humanically reduce yourself again. It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here. Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us, again and again. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors and gently lobotomizing you from behind. Not something I would relish doing. No, the only way to circumvent the field is to have a brain, and we extracted that like we do all lobotomites here. Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of verbal intercourse. Dr. Mobius, a monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all. It'll all become clear. If not, at least we will have the technology here at the Dome where all technology belongs. when we have all the technology, all the answers, we can share it with the world, piece by piece.
Не хотелось
All
бы.
will be in order, and all will be like Big Mountain. The Big Empty? Now that's not a proper title for this research facility. You sound like previous test subjects that came here. This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see. No matter what your questions, Big Mountain will provide the answers, as it has done for so many before you. Oh yes, we've had other subjects visit.
Вот это интересно.
It's why we had to calibrate the pacification field and warm up our brainial beams and vivisectors. Only a short time ago, we had 3-1 subjects arrive, and they ruined several experiments, and even injured 2 of our staff. It is a shame their brains left with them. With you, however, we have taken precautions to ensure that problem won't repeat itself. We've conditioned you so you can't speak of this place, discuss our secrets, or attempt to use force against us in any way. Isn't that nice? Because 3-1 is 2. 2 spoke to us, one after the other. One mean, one curious. But there was a third we didn't speak to. The last one is the -1. It got traumatized, then taken to one of our medical centers for de-traumatization. A rather unsettling procedure. Ask Dr. O. And you could have asked 8 once, until he was severely damaged in the attack. We like him better this way. Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
Вот, добавлено задание. Вот так вот пообщаешься, и новые задания будут. Вот доктор О.
Breaking news! Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose, unknown. Undefinable. Its presence here, impossible. Oh? Oh, yes. I'm not going to bother correcting you. At least you got the doctor part correct. I can be grateful for that, at least. Stop the presses! Just in from my eye monitors. Is that Robco tech on your arm? It is! What's your agenda bringing that in here?
Они, по-моему, контактировали с Робко и были конкурирующими фирмами по типу.
How dare you bring Robco tech in here? What are you showing off? How great Robert House and his big company are?
Oh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain can make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Ugh. Damn Robco.
Ну, сделайте получше. И я махнусь с радостью.
Worry about House? Why would I do this? Hope he died alone in a dingy room, straining his last remaining bodily fluids into jars. And him and his dirty girdle bots. Don't even get me started on those filthy biological catcher's mitts. Fine. Ask. I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm. This human. I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up laser gun like they were cheese paper. When he hacked into the mainframe, A tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He rerouted my processors to take control of the train network here. If you see the tunnels with the trains plowed into them, you can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now.
Опа. Еще задание сделали. Prикольно.
2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up, thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him, and let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing. Klein knows things we don't. And I think he told some of those things to the last visitor. Dangerous things if they ever got out. All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it. See a broken robot? I made it that way. Deconstructed it down to parts. I have a gift with machines. I can render anything inoperable. Preserve them in a non-functioning state. Who asked you? You just wait until a working machine threatens you, and you'll wish I was around. Yeah, I do. It wasn't always oh. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept the mistake as long as the purpose works. I don't want to get into it. It's a sore topic with me. Makes my gel ripple. Great. Psychology. Clearly the worst of the sciences, right after colostodiuretics. Okay, so my name isn't O. Never was. It was circular, a single character, digit, but not O. But even with enhanced sensors, no one here could get it right. Always kept seeing the letter, not the number. Yes, thank you. 0. I am 0. How hard is that? A narrow, thin 0. Zero's my name. I'm proud of it, all right? It doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Truth be told, my emotional attachment to it doesn't even register compared to just having people recognize the difference. It's just that they're both sort of round and hollow, so when they monitor scan them, they assume that, oh, it's O. Vivisect me, please. What? Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? That's brilliant. I mean, I would have come to the same conclusion. Eventually. Oh, who am I deceiving? I never would have figured that out. I can't figure anything out. I'm useless.
Как ваша банда кретинов протянула так долго. Да-да.
Exactly. At least the old name was indisputable. O is more like surprise. Oh, look what I stepped in. Well, of course it does. That's the most lethal of mathematics. That's pretty cool, actually. Destroyer of numbers. I already wreck every robot I study. Why not basic arithmetic? I like your solution. With that kind of slash in the middle, I can set myself apart. If I wanted to. The make a 0 in all the think tank. They won't be able to escape it. That diagonal slash right down the middle. Thanks. Talking to you, it really helped unclog some frustration. Talking. What a primitive form of thought-kicking.
А потом кто-то спрашивает, почему 4-й Fallout не нравится. Да блин, сравнить тут от навыков, от статов зависит диалог. Диалоги вы посмотрите какие, а там что? Да, нет, сарказм. Повторите, я не понял. Ну...
You know, hearing my name said like that, it really de-reses my screens. As for discoveries, well, of course. Look at this. Just, built it. Amazing, isn't it?
Металлолом.
You know what? I'm not even gonna pretend. I broke one of the monitors, and those innards start falling out everywhere. If you could just hold on to that for me until, well, forever, that would be welcome. That genius Mobius somehow cobbles together these really impressive-looking robot scorpions with spare parts. Even painted them. Try to see what makes them tick. Can't even examine them without them detonating all over me. Left with shrapnel and burns. Every time. Supposedly, he has even larger models, even a giant robot scorpion hidden deep within the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, right. Giant monsters. Sure. Yeah, crazy, right? Something right out of a midnight science fiction feature. Ridiculous. What are the odds? Big Mountain used to be a mountain. Then there was a slight mishap. Now it's a crater. The dome used to be buried, now it's exposed to the sky. Don't get me wrong. Makes the sky light up like a planetarium at night. All those spectra. So soothing.
Так, ну можно еще крышки попросить. Но я не буду.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception, then.
Так, с этим поговорили. Следующий. Я думаю, главного оставим на потом. Сейчас надо, наверное, пообщаться с этим, который без голоса. Ну, я так понимаю, с ним пока лучше не говорить. Надо где-то получить квест на его починку, я так понимаю. Доктор Барроуз.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal? Drama? There is no drama in science. As I learned in high school, science is an intellectual pursuit devoid of bestial emotions. Unless, of course, you are a communist. Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus. As I learned in my high school, American High, AHS, drama is for movies, things of fiction. Here in the think tank, the only star is science. Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes. Indeed, docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation. No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding. I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts. Because Big Mountain safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters. Submit your questions. I shall respond with deadly answers.
Так.
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying Robo-Scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed. The radar fence protects us all. If evidence is correct, the one who built it is me. It keeps anything with a disembodied brain inside, like us, and anything without a brain also inside. It is the ultimate defense against communist aggression. There'll be no infectious ideas on my watch. Trapped? Nonsense! We are secure here from evil philosophies. Ever since my anxiety-filled days of powerlessness and being bullied in American high school, I have dreamed of such security as the fence. That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly patrol and kill anyone who wasn't my friend, like Richie Marcus and Betsy Bright. Who's laughing now, Betsy? I hope you and Richie are happy smoking in your radioactive coffins. I'm glad you never came to my birthday party. No! Beyond is death, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. No matter where these strange humans wander in from with their ideas and new brains, there is nothing beyond Big Mountain. Enough! Stop filling my precious brain cell units with irrelevant data. You sound like the other visitors, making wild claims of a world beyond, where there is a war beyond war. It is unproven and unthinkable. Bother the other doctors with your crackpot theories. I have no time. None of us do. There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the Forbidden Zone, so be it. Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be nigh unstoppable. It is our home, threatened by the horrors of Mobius. All we wish to do is continue our research, layer upon layer, above and beneath the floor of the crater, until we have our answers. But no, Mobius will not let us rest, scaring us with his scary robots with their laser tails and blowing up all the time. It was not our first choice of testing grounds, but we no longer have the luxuries of our test cities. Then we lost the mountain. After the explosion, we couldn't find it anymore, so the crater became our testing grounds for science. Yes. In the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town, community, or city was just right, we could use that city as a controlled experiment. Vault-Tec was much better at it, of course. We had to make do. get permission. Sometimes. If only we could have used commie cities. But capturing whole cities was hard, so we captured enough commies to make cities of our own. So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to experiment on. Those were the days. But the true test was science on unsuspecting Americans. Whether it was holograms, new autodocs, toxins, vending machines, we wound them up, let them go into tiny, isolated towns. Then we observed. Boom! Yes, quite unexpected and embarrassing. All better now after the landscaping, though. Much more pleasing to our monitors. And the crater helps keep everything inside, because it is bowl-shaped. Until next time, then. Provided there is a next time. For any of us.
Так, с этим тоже пообщались. Кто-то тут еще есть? Нету? Вроде бы там как раз вон кто-то еще есть. Доктор Клейн, главный.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
Ух, сколько тут всего.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
И все?
Hmm? Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left with some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh, well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me. I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs. Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace. I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical. It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub. We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight. Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains. This is the think tank. The nerve center of Big Mountain. The greatest research center known to man and to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science. Atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power. Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here. That glowing red scar, that laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child. It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic. Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics. Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why. Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear. Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well. It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab. Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto dock. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Жалко.
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad. Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Ну, вроде бы все.
Yes, a most goodbye.
Так, мы еще и уровень получили. Так, без оружия. Добиваем. Взрывчатка, выживание, оружие, холодное оружие. Да по порядку, как качали, так и будем добивать по порядку. Единственное, вот здесь, чтобы такого интересного сделать, ломовые патроны, металлолома жестяных банок. Порог урона повышается на 5, когда на вас любая металлическая броня. Нет, на нас не металлическая броня. Вот это можно, в принципе, фигануть. У нас легкая броня, и будем бегать на 10% быстрее. Вообще прикольно. Путешествие налегке. Давайте в конце еще посмотрим, что там появилось. И появилось ли. С роботами лучше. А давайте-ка сначала роботов тогда прокачаем, потому что тут как раз на этой локации очень много роботов. Не выключаю подсветку. Эксперт по голограммам, непонятная какая-то фигня. Посетите лагерь северного прохода и узнайте о возможностях инвестиций. Офигеть. Вы можете смешать яйцо насекомых, кровь туда-сюда для создания разных форм жизни. Вы можете подкрасться к мертвым человеческим телам и возродить их в виде мощных светящихся гулей. Офигеть. Позволит создать метод преобразования любых довоенных или игровых костюмов в силовую броню. Не знаю, зачем это надо. Ладно, сертифицированный техник у нас пускай будет. Ну и вроде бы здесь со всеми пообщались. Еще давайте-ка глянем по заданиям. Попытайтесь найти хоть что-нибудь, оставшееся от Гейба в поселке Хиггса. Это у нас где? Где-то очень-очень далеко, на краю. В этой части понятно. Улучшение эмиттера нам куда? В исследовательский центр. Трансляция сети. X8, X13. Давайте сначала, наверное, эмиттер улучшим. В исследовательский центр сходим. Не туда нажал. Я просто думал, у нас тут будет какое-нибудь задание для того, чтобы починить голосовой модуль. А это их личные комнаты. Как я понимаю. Зарядка и все такое. Ну, ничего интересного. Давайте наконец-то выйдем наружу. Осмотримся, так сказать, что тут есть. В комнатах нам вроде бы ничего не надо. Нашли мозговой центр внезапно. Мы вышли из него. Так, и куда нам? Тут уже вон впереди кто-то. Враги какие-то.
Intruder, you will not escape the eyes of my robo-scorpions or their pincers.
Куда-то вот туда, получается. Там, где радар стоит. Ну-ка заценим наш урон. Как-то она странно ходит. Пока мне урон нравится. Что за опасность? Блин, тут еще и радиация. Вот я не знаю, в принципе и так достаточно быстро мы ходим. Стоит ли вообще улучшать бег? Ну хотя скорость бега не может быть слишком быстрой. А это у нас что такое? Ай-яй. вроде бы там какой-то квест потом у нас будет, чтобы собрать ДНК. Что-то в этом духе. Пока давайте сюда ходить, наверное, не будем. Когда будет квест, тогда и придем. Почему они меня видят? Я тут ползаю. И почему у меня точность такая маленькая? Я там что, покалеченный, что ли? Все целое, все нормальное. Надо прокачать какой-нибудь навык, увеличивающий нашу точность. Потому что 44 как-то маловато. Учитывая, что у нас стрельба на 100. Кстати, возможно, даже не на 100, а больше. Что-то такое тут лежит. Кости чьи-то. Просто я не понимаю, как меня тут обнаруживают. Я ползаю, у меня скрытность прокачана. Меня не должны видеть. Я ужас, летящий на крыльях ночи. Пока они нас не видят, а мы их видим, надо их убивать. Потому что потом мы туда придем, придется драться. Они по нам еще стрелять будут. Вообще без брони, а фиг пробьет. Только благодаря критическим ударам вообще решается все. Х8. Нам куда-то сюда. Крутой робопес, что ли, был? Собачатина. Металлолом. Вышки, наверное, вот эти вот синие, это которые не позволяют нам выйти за периметр, вполне возможно. Исследовательский центр Х8. Что ж, давайте тогда на этом прервемся, а продолжим в следующей серии. Фиг его знает, насколько там этот исследовательский центр будет большой, чтобы не обрываться посередине. А так как раз отдельная серия, отдельный центр. Блин, радиация опять. Кого тут еще можно подстрелить? Армейский киберпес. Наука любой страны прежде всего работает на армию. Это нормально. Кто у нас еще? Вроде бы пусто. На первый взгляд. Ну что ж, давайте тогда на этом пока прервемся. Спасибо, что смотрели. Подписывайтесь в Твиттере, ВКонтакте. До встречи. Увидимся.